Welcome, everybody, to the second edition of the Hollowworld podcast. Today, I am joined with the two new moderators and staff members of the server, Lannis, Jaret, Lemur, whatever his name is, and Ghost and Cloud. Say hello, you two.
Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hello. So, why don't we start off with introducing yourselves to the people watching? Go ahead, Jaret, you can start us out.
Okay, let's see, I'm Lannis, or Jaret, or Lemur, or really whatever you want to call me. Just made staff with my good buddy Ghosty over here. Yeah, hey bro, how's it going?
No, we're doing a podcast.
Let's see, who am I? How am I doing? I don't know, I guess I just graduated high school, going off to college this summer, so fall. That'll be fun.
What are you going to college for?
Engineering.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Fun.
I don't really know what to say here, so, Ghosty, you want to take it away?
Alright, switch over to Ghosty.
I'm Ghost. Most people know me as Cloud, or the Living Ghost, or confusingly on TeamSpeak, TLG. Yes, that's me. Hello. Yeah, I got recently promoted with Lannis. I think we squeed equally as much.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, man. I like to write, actually. People notice that Cloud likes to write a lot because he has too much free time. But I actually just kind of like to write and then scrap whatever I've written. Because it's just nice to put ideas to paper sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, but I have not quote-unquote graduated. It's different here. It's I'm currently in sixth form. And that's one step before uni. Yeah. So,
okay.
I'm a little bit behind, but I'm catching up.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
So, why don't we talk a little about your characters on Hollowworld, or your, what characters you play? Oh, we've got enough time, trust me. Alright, why don't we start with, Cloud again here, and he can talk about his character, who is, rather different on the server and very interesting, complex.
Oh my dear. I'm going to start by saying Cloud is a legacy character. That means before the lore changes, he stuck around, and he's only around because I've kept RP'ing with him. It's been constant. And he is the Adam, in terms of Adam and Eve to the server, because he had no parents. Because he was created. He is the server's homunculus.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty sad. But not an assassin. And technically not really an orphan. Because he never had parents. He has astounding abilities, like being able to regenerate after death, and the amazing ability of if he harms someone, it comes back tenfold. Which in the end it makes him a pretty nice guy.
It's hilarious, I swear.
Yeah, try sparring.
Yes.
Yeah. The only reason I have collaborated is because of it's been constant work, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm going to keep going.
He's a very elaborate and different character, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very creative sort of thing. What gave you the idea for Cloud? How he,
Wow. I don't know how many people would remember Bane. He was completely black-skinned. Not. I will grab a cup and I will beat you on that accent.
Do it. Bring it.
No, I'm staying on topic here. Bane was completely black-skinned, one eye, very grumpy, and he was technically a living ghost. but he was a little OP around the edges, and he was just kind of grumpy all the time, and that made me grumpy. So I created Cloud, who is, if you look at Bane, if you manage to track him down on the forums, is pretty much the exact opposite, because Cloud's almost completely grey, and he's a nice guy instead. And I just wanted the complete polar shift, which is actually what I recommend people do. If they're stuck with making a new character, they just look at the character they have right now, do the exact opposite. It can be fun.
Yeah, right. Okay, Lannis, talk a little about your handsome dwarf man over there. What do you got going on with him?
Man.
Your handsome dwarf man.
I think it's
alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so I play Jaret Ironbrow, King of the Dwarves. Had him for a little over a year now. I don't really want to say he's kind of a generic dwarf, but I suppose I try to play him in that he embodies dwarven ideals quite well. I guess his personality is kind of just based on, well, not really dwarven. Oh yes, dwarven ideals, but
I mean, he is the dwarf, though, isn't he?
He is the dwarf. I suppose I can claim the title of the most active dwarf.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
On many hours a day, and almost too much. But personality-wise, he has an astounding capacity for indifference. Like, it's very hard to get him irritated, angry, or passionate about anything. And I kind of reason this on that dwarves already lived for about 250 years. He's, I think, around 90 now, and is just kind of seen all this stuff before. It's not entirely interesting. He's really patient, and he's generally a pretty chill guy. Yeah,
right.
Fun at parties.
He's a pretty great guy, yeah.
Oh.
Chip, Freya, and Jaret 2014.
God damn it.
Frowrit.
Oh boy.
Oh, so that was fun.
Let's not.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So, some recent things that are happening in the server, we've got these region roleplay classifications, and the conduct and staff involvement going on with dispute, that such. Why don't you guys give me some of your ideas and thoughts on these recent threads and developments that we have going on?
Man, everybody's killing everybody. Everybody's killing everybody. I don't know how I feel about this.
I know it's going to be a great statement when you start with man.
Exactly. But yeah, we just got has been a surprising rise in violence following the big war that we had.
Right.
Yeah. So I suppose the recent interest in region classifications and whatnot kind of reflects that, where, we do want people to have peaceful regions where the numerous murderers running around won't come up there causing trouble.
Right.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy about the classification because it means that Havada, and I've asked other people about this, Havada can get its nice new shiny peaceful rating. So certain A-wins can't just walk in and start sparring whenever they want to anymore.
Right.
Because it's a holiday resort.
It's a holiday. Like that. Havarda, the holiday resort.
Bring your children, bring your co-workers. Make a day of it.
So what do you guys think of the ULA things, the things going on with the ULA and all of those shenanigans going on with Mojang and all that stuff? What do you guys think of that? Talk a little bit about that.
I love Notch. He's such a great guy.
He is such a great guy.
Praise my God.
That whole affair sounds like a massive headache, and yes, you have my utmost respect. Management team that has to deal with that.
Yes, Sherbet, Sally, anybody else who's working on that.
If you're listening, shout out to you, Sherbet, however, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
Sherby baby.
I think Hollowworld itself is taking good steps towards the ULA, and we're working with it greatly. I don't think we have any really big. It's still a very big topic.
I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, it's kind of hit the Minecraft world card, and everybody's just kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, I'm all right with it, but
I could let it sit in the shadows and plot.
right,
Starts
yeah.
affecting Hollowworld. Get out of here.
Get out of here. So yeah, definitely. Why don't we talk a little bit about what you guys do around the server? What do you guys enjoy doing on the server? Do you have any organizations? What do you guys do mostly around here?
Yeah, we might have a couple.
Might have a couple.
Maybe. Lannis, do you wanna?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's talk about organizations. I am Jaret and Ghost, the illustrious king of the dwarves. This means I run a house of 2 dwarves who I may or may not know personally in real life.
Somebody needs to catch me. I'm falling over too much.
So yeah, okay, so I run House Yearnin, which hasn't been terribly active lately. There are many things that I need to do to get it back up and running in politics and whatnot, but I'm entirely too lazy to do right now.
Right.
Yes, I have an amazing capacity for that.
So, do you have any plans for the house? Any big things gonna happen? Any, region or anything of that nature?
No
I might try
war.
to take over the world. Okay, never mind then. Okay.
I'm gonna recommend no war.
No,
Just
it
putting
won't be
that
a
on the
war.
table.
It won't be a war, Gussie. It'll be a suppression, bringing the glorious dwarven overlords to Altera.
Right.
Dwarven overlords, right?
Well, of course.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
We are the
you
future.
can't survive in my tropical climates anyway, so bring
Right.
it
Ah, eternity.
Yeah.
So you are the king of dwarves, I hear then, Jaret, right? Your character runs the whole shindig with the dwarves, or
Yeah.
says he does.
Says he does. Yeah. And Korog approved. So.
Korog
we'll stick with it.
approved. Right. Okay, so what about you, Cloud? What does your weird character do around here?
Oh, you mean the king of the homunculi?
Yes.
Self-proclaimed. Who can argue that? I'm gonna might change my forum title. Organizations. The main one that I got up and running was the Guardians. And then the corruption happened right on their doorstep because the guild was spitting distance from the cathedral.
Right. And who were the Guardians? What did they do?
Right. Originally, actually, I get this question a lot. Originally, the Guardians were the protectors of Altera on supernatural basis. If there was a war between 2 factions, that's fine. They wouldn't get involved. If there were demons killing villages, that's when the Guardians would come in.
Right.
Because there was no current force to fight that. But as it went on, the Guardians became more of a school because the demon threat had been eliminated. And that is half of what it has become today. Because the guild was destroyed, and I've almost finished making the new one. A couple of people have seen it already. And this will be more of both. It'll be definitely a school where people can learn in-character skills, which I like. And then houses. I did have a house. That kind of went under.
Do not have enough homunculi to keep it populated.
No.
So what was the house name?
That was House Ether, I think.
Right.
Again, that was Bane's house, so I honoured his memory. Oh, tears.
Right. So each of you guys do quite a bit on the server, as it seems, very active, and I think that's one of the main reasons why you both were promoted as staff members. Very proactive with what's going on, or I guess you could say.
Lannis, do you want a beard fight? I kind of want a beard fight.
So since the corruption has somewhat ended, I'm not saying it has fully ended, but since it's somewhat ended, how do you guys feel about the whole return campaign in general? How did you give us your review on it? What did you guys think about it?
Campaign in general, I love that campaign. It's just so much stuff going on with gods and divines and all this. There was always felt like there was something to do related to it, whether it was like making alliances and preparing for summonings or whatnot, or actually the giant fighting events. Yeah, I enjoyed the campaign. A lot of great character development, all that fun stuff.
Was there anything specific you enjoyed, like the final battle, or
the Korog summonings? Tooting my
Korog.
horn here, but
Right.
oh my god, Korog is
the shield?
Yes. Okay, maybe not that summoning in particular.
Thank you to everybody that stuck around for the 2 hours for that summoning.
Yeah. Okay, a bit of a story on that. So the plan was to make this fancy shield, and somewhere along the line have asked Korog to show up. The main focus, in theory, was to have Korog show up, but the event kind of turned into 2 hours or more of making a fancy shield, and it was a very fancy shield that didn't last very long.
The very best shield.
It was
The
just
very
a very
best.
best shield. But yes, 2 hours of 4 some odd blacksmiths.
People slowly going AFK as they were the only ones
Yeah.
making the shield.
Exactly. It was an affair. But Korog showed up, final battle, so I guess it kind of worked out.
Right.
Korog Seeley said he enjoyed the making of the shield because it was
It's
quite
true.
interesting.
Yeah, I think the summonings that were led were actually pretty cool. I really enjoyed the first. I think it was one of the first summonings of Korog where where you guys carved out. What was it? You guys like carved
Ooh.
into the mountain. That was pretty cool. I think that's what it was. Was that it?
Yeah. We actually built the shrine to then summon him with.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's pretty neat. I like how that was done.
Thank you.
What about you, Cloud? What did you think on the entire return campaign?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I was obviously on both sides of it, so
Right.
I could see the internal struggle. It got hard at points for characters, and it brought a lot out that you wouldn't normally see. And also, I love the divines being included more in the server. Like they instead of just looking up to the heavens and going, that cloud kind of looks like Korog. It's more like, yes, they're part of this. I can call on him every time I make a shield, I guess. What else? Oh, the final battle against Haratef. That's pretty satisfying.
It was,
That was fun.
Very satisfying, yeah. The grand finale was, of course, not Gaelic stabbing Haratef, but Lannis and Chalkin's dwarf
God.
Engem tower of people in attempts to stab Haratef. But yeah,
yeah, I
it was a
think
nice quote-unquote conclusion.
Yeah, I think all in all, it was a pretty great campaign, and props to Mitch, who did a ton of work with that, and Nailwin, and all the people who were involved with that. That was a great campaign. Very proud and happy of it. We all are. Okay, and now it's time for the questions. I think.
Hold on, I need to
Okay.
hold down my caps so I can clap.
Claps,
Me being excited.
That's the best.
So, as you know, we've been asking questions to each guest every time, and I think it's time we ask these questions again. So I'm going to start we're going to pick questions from both threads, the first podcast thread and this one. It just kind of worked out that way with the amount of questions that we had. We probably won't get to all the questions, so if yours is not mentioned, I apologize ahead of time. But yeah, we're going to start here with Golden Gem 25's first question with, what's your opinion on civilization?
Built a civilized, they smell, never did anything. Unless a dwarven civilization, in which case they're the best.
So there's Lannis's answer. What about you,
Yes.
Ghost?
Civilization brought us tea and fine shirts. I feel like I've got a lot of people on my side in that argument.
Okay. Wow.
That's my answer.
So the next one is from ppepper123, and his question asks, if you could change one action that you have done in roleplay in Hollowworld, what would it be and why?
Action as in something that your character did.
Yes,
That you'd
yeah.
rather.
Yeah.
Okay. Find trouble. Sometimes I kind of just, wish Cloud stays at home sometimes. Read a book.
Oh man, life is exciting. Alrighty, one event that I regret not doing would have changed. Let's see. Okay, so the precursor to this return event, what was it? Sea of Storms, with all the elementals running around causing trouble.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So, one of the kind of mini events within that, there was I forget the name of the elemental, some flaming little guy, running around Port Silver causing problems. And of course, Jaret, he was there watching it. I had a meeting to get to at some point in the future, so I didn't really want to get involved and possibly risk. So I just kind of watched as this elemental running around terrorizing things. I regret not tackling the elemental because that would have been so intensely satisfying.
And probably would have resulted in Jaret's death, most likely.
No. He can handle a few sins that rouse. He has enough.
Yes, alright. The next question comes from J Star, and he asks, your top 5 favorite characters.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Oh dear. I like Cloud the best.
Yeah, that is the best.
Sorry,
you April.
I thought you liked Freya the best. What is this?
That's
Jaret?
also okay. Well.
If we say somebody else is gonna get offended.
Exactly. Okay.
Thank you, J Star.
Thank you, J Star.
Okay, we can move on. The next question comes from Sally Pirate, and she asks, what's your favorite game other than Minecraft?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. That is difficult for me to choose. Let's see. I'd say Morrowind is probably up there. Elder Scrolls.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Simply for the nostalgia factor. Oh my god, that was kind of the first real role-playing RPG that I played, and it's still happy times. Need to actually play that again. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sally, for picking another kind of hard one. It's stuck between Zelda Minish Cap and Dungeon Keeper 2, because both have incredible replayability, and Minish Cap I've completed, I don't know, 10, 15 times, and then Dungeon Keeper, it's just really fun.
Right, yeah. Dungeon Keeper is a pretty good game. I've played that a couple times. It's pretty decent. Also,
I'm a huge Zelda nerd.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of why Minish Cap is a little bit going ahead. Oh god, Aiden is freaking out now that I've said Dungeon Keeper too. Caps, Aiden Ninja. Jeez.
Yeah, Caps. Right. Next question is from Sally, and she asks, do you have a favorite rope spot?
Ooh. Now, is this just where we commonly roleplay, or is this where something's happened and it's our favorite spot? We can answer both.
Yeah, let's answer both. Let's do that.
Common. Oh damn! It used to be the guild for the common place to ask. That's sad. Cloud's house, because Forrest has put a sign next to his desk at the top floor saying "Homunculus at work." So I usually go there.
Oh my god, it actually does.
Yeah, are you checking it out now?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And then the I think the spot that takes the top for the event thing, that might have to be the what's it called? It was the other inn in Port Silver. Not the North,
A sunken Norwegian.
Sunken Norwegian. Yeah, that, because that's where Amir and Cloud, met and stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
And what about you, Lannis?
Alrighty, not serious answer. I would have to say the dungeon beneath Cloud's house.
You leave that alone.
Okay. At the moment, I'm quite enjoying Taradol, actually, on one of my alts. Well, my only alt, but whatever. It's a beautiful city. Lots of geography to play around with. It's a nice, sprightly elf. Of course, dwarves are still the master race, but still, elves sometimes have their moments. Yeah, just Taradol. It's been quite populated recently, so always something fun to do.
Right, yep.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So, the next question we're going to ask is, are there other games that you wish Hollowworld supported? And this was asked by Exclaimer.
Starbound! Oh, wait. Aha, good job.
Hollowworld supported. It'd have to be games that really support RP, wouldn't it? Because I was just going to say, Minish Cap or Dungeon Keeper 2. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I would. Oh, Gary's mod. That's quite popular for RP, isn't it?
Oh.
I don't know. I think at this point, if we're looking for a game that supports RP, it's not the ones we'd prefer to have. It's the ones that are left. Because Hollowworld has been quite diverse and amazing. What about you, Lance?
What about me? I already answered.
Oh, you said?
Yeah.
Was that serious?
That was serious. Starbound is.
My Dungeon Keeper 2 response was serious. I think we could really make that work.
Okay, we're playing that game now. Okay, let's see. Okay, something other than Starbound. You know what? Purely for those purveyors of combat RP, let's see. Chivalry, Medieval Warfare.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Game.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Difficulty curve like a wall, which would make it very interesting for all of these badasses running around.
It's going to be hard for bakers like Sally to make a living when she has to hold a sword all the time.
Right.
And then yeah.
But chopping the breads, of course.
Alright, so the next question we'll move on to is from Tybalt, and he asks, what do you think about all the new regions popping up?
Ooh.
The new regions popping up.
I think that's actually slowed down.
It has, but let's use our imaginations and go back a week or so.
A week or so.
Yeah. Or whenever. I have not been keeping track of all these new regions popping up.
I don't know, it's great people are being creative.
Right.
But I hope people aren't doing it to wage war on other regions.
Oh god.
Because it's like, I'm going to claim the North.
You can try, Lannis. You can try.
He also asks about the organizations popping up. What do you think about those?
Ooh,
There have been organizations popping up?
Well, I think he means the cult. I think cult's a bit harsh. The Harateth.
Recent activity of the engine could also be kind of on that note.
Yeah, the engine activity, all that stuff. I would assume.
I don't know, I love seeing player-driven events, organizations, and kind of just impromptu
events?
turf wars.
More events.
More events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out. Made a good point. Which thread did he? I can't remember. He said that people are trying to become too unique. And it's it works just to stick to like normal ideals people like. I mean, there's nobody like not everybody wants a floating castle in the sky.
Right, right.
Some people just want to settle down in a nice jungle village or something.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, yep.
That was a good point.
Depressed Monkey asks, "What is your favorite food?"
These are such easy questions.
These
Thanks,
are
guys.
such easy questions.
Joke answer pasta, because it'll make Forrest angry, because pasta wins over rice, clearly. Real answer... I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that you'd be left on a desert island with and you could eat forever.
There wouldn't be a lot, I don't think. A lot of options.
Let's see. My favorite food. I'm just gonna interject. Probably, definitely Korean food. Probably either bulgogi or kimchi, which would be sort of a beef, not stir fry, but thinly sliced beef with lovely spices and flavorings, or fermented cabbage, which is nice and spicy.
Right, right.
I guess I spent a good bit of my childhood right by Seoul, South Korea, so that's kind of stuck with me since then.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Hawaiian pizza with sausage and cheese stuffed crust.
That works too.
Oh
that
yeah.
Sounds
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just everything. Well, most of the things I love in a food, just in one pizza.
Just in one pizza right there.
Yeah. It's a lovely combination.
Lovely. Lone Space Marine asks, describe yourself in one sentence. So I guess it's not really a question, but more or less.
Describe myself in one sentence.
Tall, muscular, white guy that makes up one of the three things, so he has three things to say. There you go.
Lannis.
Wait for it. Okay.
One sentence, that's all you get.
Tall, dark, and handsome with a passion for long walks on the beach.
I said it better myself. Right there. That's it. That's it right there.
Perfect description.
We know what we're doing after the podcast.
You know, girl.
GLaDOS101 asks, why are you on the podcast instead of GLaDOS?
I have a swag hammer, boy.
Yeah, I
That's why.
Guess I'd better leave then. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for all the fish.
Where's the exit?
I think it's just that little disconnect button right there.
Up at the top corner right there.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Forrest Rose asks, what is your favorite artist/band?
Oh dear God. Oh boy.
Artist?
Yes, which I
Yeah,
believe
so
would be
pretty
like
good.
a singer?
Yeah, I think that's what she's going for. So I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Picasso.
Right.
Hey.
Band. C2C. No, they are my favorite.
Is that like what genre of music do they?
There's no way to describe it. I think somebody described it as electro blues.
Electro blues. That...
Yeah, they're kind of like Daft Punk actually, but no, I really like them. I'd recommend people looking up C2C.
You'll have to, okay, I'll take a look.
Plug.
Okay, Lannis, your turn.
Let's see. Okay, shout out to Dash, Data, BB. Probably the Heavy, a British rock band with Probably some songs that you guys probably know. Short Change Hero was big a little while back with Borderlands 2 and various other sources. How You Like Me Now. Yeah. I enjoy them.
Right, right.
Now that makes me think of more bands, and my answer stands, but damn
it's an easy question today, guys. Thanks.
Alex and Regged asks, what's the best roleplay you ever got into?
Huh. Oh boy.
How far back can I go?
How can I choose?
I think that might be the hardest.
That might be the hardest.
Congratulations.
You're the winner.
You have been awarded a trophy.
That's a difficult trophy to get, by the way.
Not easy.
Okay, if we're talking sheer out of character jubilation, probably the first summoning of Korog. I was on Skype with my other dwarf buddies when that happened, and when he just kind of broke through the ceiling and did a stylish landing on the floor. It was, oh my god, they were squealing to be had by not grown men, but men at an age that do not squeal. It was pretty good.
I really can't choose.
There's just too many.
RP, yeah, there is.
Ghosty. Do you remember that one time?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
A lot of good RPs were had though with Sparky. That's Mr. Team Sparky. A lot of funny RPs. So I'm not choosing one, but I'm just recommending one.
Okay, next question. He asks, what is the happiest thing you ever witnessed in a Hollowworld roleplay?
The
Question?
happiest thing? Ooh, it's actually a little easier.
Cloud having his child, I'm guessing, maybe?
No, that was scary.
That was very scary.
That was absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying as hell.
But things like that, like births and weddings, and oh god, Tazamic getting uncorrupted. That was just hugs all around.
That was a good one. Yeah.
But
you know, I prefer the uncorrupting after that part. Remember that one, Athro?
I remember that. That was
that was a great time.
That was fun.
And you know, actually, on second thought, that probably is a strong contender for the last question as well. My favorite roleplay. That was just hilarious.
That was a brilliant roleplay. That was a lot of fun. Okay.
Yeah. So getting married or something. Yeah.
Right.
Also, sorry. Forrest has imprisoned me on the server and says your own fault for not saying I was amazing. So Forrest, you're amazing.
Someone is sleeping on the couch tonight.
Looks like it.
Okay. So now we're gonna move on from a few questions to a couple more. And these questions are, what would your character do? So these characters that they're going to be basing their questions on will be Lannis, or Jaret and Cloud. And I'm going to ask just a few of what they would do. So we'll start with Cloud. What would your character do if they found that the thing they cherished most was gone?
Seeing as that's Amir, I'm gonna say mourn, and then build a robot Amir.
I can help with that.
She'll be 10% more efficient.
We can do that. We have the technology.
We have the technology. And what about Jaret, Lannis? What would he do?
I'm actually not sure what he cherishes the most. He would
Aircrawl?
but you can't really do anything to Irkon. It's a big fortress. I don't. No, okay, so he's not really big on material. Okay, we'll just entertain this notion. God damn it, Cloud. Okay, if something happened to Freya, his little northern love interest, who has absolutely no reciprocal feelings whatsoever, he'd probably go into a mindless rage and break some things. It'd be fun. Yeah.
Like Aircron.
Again, I don't think you can break that.
You can try.
You can try.
Good luck.
And with Korog's power. Anyways, for the final question of what would your character do, what would Cloud do if he was tossed in the middle of a battle between Drishrim and Crusade?
Drishrim and who?
Crusade.
Oh, Crusade.
Yeah.
Run to Crusade and grab onto his knee and be like, "Help me!" I don't know, because Jishrim's crazy. So if Cloud runs to Jishrim's side, he probably would have a better chance of living. It's debatable. I don't know. Cloud would pull out his 2 rapiers and challenge the both.
Lannis, I'm going to ask you a separate question.
Okay.
What would Jaret do if he was stranded on a desert island with no one but himself there?
Okay, so let's see. He hates deserts, so that wouldn't be much fun from the get-go. You might try to dig a hole, but it's sand, so that wouldn't get very far, and yeah, you'd probably die of the elements fairly quickly. Yeah, nothing glorious to say there.
Not build a raft out of turtles and swim with his tiny dwarfish arms to freedom.
Tiny dwarfish arms? What you on about, lad?
And with that, we move into the final section of the podcast for today, where we talk about a featured thread and a featured piece of artwork on the Hollowworld forums that has really caught our eye and everybody else's eye. And the thread that this week we're going to be talking about is Nailwin's thread of the Unabridged. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about that and what you think of it?
Unabridged. Okay.
Nailwin really put the cards on the table.
Put the cards on the table. That was a pretty heavy discussion there. Got a lot of, tough topics out in the air, out there. Left to dry. Oh, not left to dry. So, my figures of speech are failing me right now. It brought out a lot of issues very well, I feel. And it was kind of good to discuss them, get them out in the open.
It reminded people of how much work Nailwin has put into it behind the scenes. And even in the face of, talking through it and going, okay, this worked, he still talked about what failed. And he had humility even though he was going unabridged. And I thought it was great. I thought it was exactly what was needed.
Right. And the piece of artwork that we are featuring for today is a little bit depressing, a little bit sad, I guess you could say. Sally Pirate drew a beautiful portrait of her character, Dominic, who recently passed away. The artwork was to sort of release the announcement of the passing. You might not be able to see it right now, but if the video later will have the artwork shown. If not, you could check it out on the character profile for Dominic. But yes, it was a very sad time, I think, for a lot of people, because that character was very appreciated. I think even by you two, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was an amazing a Red Seeker.
Yeah, but that artwork was absolutely phenomenal, I think. Gorgeous piece. I actually really. So, it was a good couple weeks for the forums, I think, between artwork. There were a lot of pieces of artwork that we looked at, that we played around with, along with threads as well. But I think those two really stood out the most for being the most effective, really. So those are the ones that we chose. And with that, we are going to wrap up the show here today. Thank you to both my guests for joining me today. Cloud, Jaret, Ghosty, whatever, Lannis, all you, whatever. Thank you guys for being on the show. I hope to have you back again
It's been
soon.
a pleasure.
A lot of fun. And until next time, and see y'all around.
Bye guys, love you.